All right. As the house lights go down, we'll ask for your attention and begin this auspicious evening. And I'll begin by welcoming you to what has become a long-standing tradition. I had an opportune conversation with Loretta White, who was the person who first started to do this ceremony for the city going back 30 years. So it's something we're very proud of, and we're very proud to have so many folks that we can recognize on an evening such as this. So, speaking of traditions, let us begin by acknowledging that we're gathered this evening on the traditional and shared territories of the Coast Salish peoples. Tonight's ceremony borrows from traditional First Nations teachings that emphasize the need to celebrate community, respect our elders and leaders, and to contribute in ways that will serve our future many generations from now. I'm Paul Horn, and throughout the evening, your mayor and council will be hosting this as our way of saying thank you to all of the other leaders and luminaries represented this evening. And we thank you for coming out to support your loved ones and your neighbors. I want to first acknowledge the performance of Solomon Leonard Jansen, who began the evening again as they traditionally do for us this evening. Please give them a round of applause for their musical talents. And we're also very, very lucky to have a long list of Freeman or Freedom of the City recipients in our city, and to have so many of them with us here this evening. It's not something every municipality does. It's quite a unique thing that Mission makes a point of identifying people who have served our community over a lifetime. And so this evening, I'll ask that these folks stand if they're able as I call their names out, and hopefully I won't miss anybody. And after I do, I'll ask that you give them a round of applause. This is in no particular order. I think it's in the order I saw them come in this evening. Ken Salvaraja, Sharon Surrett, Glenn Kask, Doug Pearson, Val Balesberger, Barb Furman, Jim Hines, Joan McClatchy, Eleanor Lobb, and I believe Carlo Billinger may be here as well. Could those folks all stand up for us over here, folks? Please give them a round of applause. And I sincerely hope I didn't miss anybody, but if I did, I really want to acknowledge all of our Freemen, including those that couldn't be here this evening. And in particular, I want to acknowledge two who couldn't be here this evening because they have passed in the last year. The first of these is former mayor and longtime contributor to Mission, Abe Neufeld. And of course, the second is one of Mission's longest living and longest serving citizens, Rona Jacobson, both of whom were lost this past year. We would have loved to have our MLAs and MP join us this evening, but they're all very busy with other work at other branches of government. So both MLA Alexis and MLA Deeth send their regrets, and so does MP Viss. We also want to welcome members of the Mission Public School Board this evening, and I know that at least three of them are here, Trustees Loeffler, Hamill, and Baines. Please give them some recognition. It's interesting to talk about the Board of Education because you may have just heard that there's a big announcement about the high school. When I think really of my time in high school and university, I recall the feeling about history that it was very, very far behind me. But in today's date, when it comes to things like World War II, the Spanish flu pandemic, and the Great Depression, those things all felt old until about 2019. And now, I can feel, and I think you'll agree with me, that we can witness that history is happening right in front of us every day. And I think you might also agree that the speed with which the world is changing can at times be frightening and intimidating. So when I speak with you, my neighbors, I hear you raise concerns about the environment in this community, the economy, peace around the world. And so no matter what our age, our background, or our job, what I'm hearing from folks is it's hard to hold out hope for a return to sanity, stability, and equity. Even for border collies, it's difficult. So that's why I think a night like tonight is so incredibly important. I want to remind you of the three proven ingredients that the world has used always to overcome adversity: community, leadership, and faith in one another. Tonight, sit back and gather in the way that your community exemplifies these three things. People of every background are out there making the world better, and this evening we will recognize just a small percentage of them. I'm certain you can think of many others who are doing great things for Mission, Canada, and the entire world. So tonight I hope you'll find hope, gratitude, and most important of all, the inspiration to keep contributing as we recognize the community, leadership, and faith of these celebrated citizens in us, their neighbors. Now, if you're able, I'd ask you to please rise, remove your hats, and join council in the singing of O Canada. Before we begin presenting the awards, we want to make sure we go over the process for recipients this evening to help everything run smoothly. Recipients, please follow along with the program. If you have any problems with the reading of it, one of our recipients tonight's a literacy expert, so just ask Elspeth and she'll point out the correct page. So when we begin to present the award immediately before yours, please come up to the side of the stage on my left, your right, so that you can be guided and put in the position for your award to be presented. Family members, after the person comes up and has their award given to them, we'd invite you to come up and take a photograph. The recipients will disappear briefly afterwards for an official photograph behind the stage and then come back to join you in the seats later on. And with that, we're now happy to officially begin presenting the 2024 City of Mission Community Service Awards, and I'll turn things over to Councillors Hamilton and Plecas to get us started. Thank you again.
Thank you, Mayor Horan. Our first award of the evening goes to Dr. Erin Osterberg. Erin is an associate professor in the School of Criminology and Criminal Justice at UFV, where she teaches courses related to psychological explanations of crime, social policy, professional practice, and corrections. She is also a research associate with the Center for Public Safety and Criminal Justice Research, where she conducts research on policy, program evaluation, and strategies to promote improvements in our public safety. Since Erin moved to Mission in 2008, she has been an enthusiastic and committed local volunteer, participating in a variety of fundraising activities, school and sports programs, and community-led initiatives for at-risk and vulnerable youth. Erin is an active and long-term member of the Rotary Club of Mission Midday, where she has served in a variety of ways over the years. She is an accomplished fundraiser and currently helps coordinate the club's volunteer efforts at Hope Central. She has also been part of the visionary group that started Mission Youth House and was instrumental in developing the backpack program at West Heights Community Elementary School. Erin believes that it is important to inspire and demonstrate volunteerism to the next generation, to get young people involved and show them the value of community. She says that for that, her role, one of the most rewarding parts about volunteering is getting to know and being part of an incredible network of people who are willing to pitch in and help others in need. We are very fortunate to have Erin in our community. Through her hard work, leadership, and compassion for others, she makes the world around her a better place. It is with a debt of gratitude that Councillor Elias will now present Dr. Erin Osterberg with a 2024 Community Service Award.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you, Carol. Glenn Robertson moved to our community in 1987 for a career opportunity at which then was called the District of Mission. He worked as the Director of Planning, also known as Community Development, for just shy over 4 years before becoming the district's Chief Administrator Officer in October 1990. As head of the organization, he oversaw and guided the growth of the community for the next 22 years. He retired as CEO in 2012, but returned for 4 months in the first part of 2015 when the organization found itself in need of an interim leader. Professionally, Glenn has made a profound and indelible mark on the City of Mission. On a personal level, Glenn has always been the type of person to give back to the community. He grew up in Nova Scotia in a family where volunteerism was the norm, and he enjoyed helping others and bringing about positive change. He has been active with the Big Brothers and Big Sisters of the Fraser Valley for many years and has been on their board since 2005. Through his work with Big Brothers and Big Sisters, he serves as the president of the Abbotsford Bingo Association, which distributes funds to nonprofits within the region. He has also been on the Mission Association for Senior Housing Board since 2013 and has been the president since 2018. He's an active member of the Fraser Valley Mountain Bike Association and has served as a liaison between the organization and the City of Mission for the contracted maintenance of bike trails at Fraser River Heritage Park. He is part of the Mission Community Cycling Coalition, is an occasional hike leader for the City of Parks Recreation and Cultural Department, and has volunteered in support of Hope Central. Glenn says the best part of volunteering is the satisfaction that he gets from helping to improve the lives within his community. Whether it be a micro or macro level, he's there to help. In recognition of everything that Glenn has done to make Mission a better place, Councillor Gill will now present him with his 2024 Lifetime Achievement Award. Glenn?
Sylvia Hansen is a kind, compassionate woman who has spent her life in quiet service to others. For many years, she worked at York House School in Vancouver, providing administrative support and encouragement to those around her. After leaving work in 2022, she began to look for ways in which she could make a difference here in her home community. Sylvia has been described as having the heart the size of Canada, so it is not surprising that she was immediately drawn to the incredible work done at the Mission Youth House. As most of you will probably know, My House is commonly called, offers at-risk youth a safe place that they can go for meals, laundry, and shower services. It is also a place where young people can connect to services and meet trustworthy, caring adults who will listen to them and offer advice. Sylvia is one of these people. She genuinely cares about others and strongly believes that all children should feel safe and be given an opportunity to thrive. To this end, Sylvia also volunteers several times a week at Cherubs Inn Daycare. This daycare offers support to single mothers from Cherubs Inn Maternity House and to young families in our community. While children have a special place in Sylvia's heart, she never shies away from helping where there is a need. She is a regular volunteer at the Cottage Thrift Store, has helped out at our local food bank, volunteered at Pride Day and the Mission Music Festival, and participates in the Coldest Night of the Year walk. While Sylvia does not like being the center of attention, she is someone whose ready laugh, authentic smile, and generous spirit deserve to be celebrated. So it was great pleasure that Councillor Davies will now present Sylvia Hansen with the 2024 Community Service Award.
Thank you. The Starfish Backpack Program originated in Abbotsford and has now expanded to 24 cities across BC and Whatcom County. It was created in recognition of the fact that many students rely on student breakfast and lunch programs for their daily food requirements. And without additional support, these students would, and often do, go hungry over the weekend. The program provides packs of food for each weekend of the academic year, which the schools they distribute to children who have been identified as facing food insecurity. The Starfish Backpack Program was brought to our community by the Rotary Club Mission Sunrise in 2016 in partnership with Mission Community Services Society, and is funded by a variety of different businesses, organizations, and individual donations. There is a team of 23 hardworking Rotarians and community volunteers who currently prepare 118 packs of food each week for the distribution to 16 different schools. Each week pack contains 2 breakfasts, 2 lunches, 2 dinners, 2 snacks, and fresh fruit and vegetables. The food is child-friendly and easy to prepare and costs approximately $600 to $800 per year per student. It is heartbreaking reality that there are people in our community who are going hungry. The tragedy compounds when this involves children who are not able to grow, develop, and learn as they should because they're not getting what they need to do so. As you can imagine, there's a tremendous amount of labor and cost to keep this program running. And without the hard work of Starfish Backpack Program volunteers and the ongoing support of organizations like Rotary Club of Mission Sunrise, Mission Community Services, St. Joseph's Food Bank, Save On Foods, Meridian Meats, local churches, School District 75, and countless other community partners, this important program would not be possible. We owe them all a great debt of gratitude. And on behalf of the City Mission, Mayor Horn will present Elle Smith Bowers and Janet Chalmers with the Starfish Backpack Program well-deserved 2024 Special Accomplishment Award. I would also like to ask the volunteers as well that are involved in the Starfish, if they're in the audience tonight, to stand up and take applause. Anyone that's part of the program can stand up as well.
If you are a volunteer in any way is contributing to this program, please stand as well right now for a round of applause.
Would appreciate it.
There are many.
Thank you. Thank you.
Pat Renison is an incredibly caring person who has been volunteering with the Mission Hospice Society for the better part of the last decade. He began helping out at the encouragement of his wife, who is already doing so, and in the years since has become an indispensable member of the Mission Hospice Society. Pat has been working in the Hospice Resource Center since the beginning. He does everything and anything that is needed. He takes out the garbage, he does the shopping, and he runs errands. He also helps out at all hospice events. He can be found selling 50-50 tickets at the racetrack and volunteering at the Hospice Tree of Remembrance. Over the course of the last 2 years, Pat has started serving on the floor of the Christine Morrison Hospice, the Society's 10-bed hospice residence providing compassionate care for end of life. Pat says that at this stage of his life, it is important to him to be able to give back and help people as much as he can. Being involved in hospice care makes him feel like he's doing something that is useful with his time. Pat says that for him, the most rewarding part of volunteering with Mission Hospice Society is when he can give comfort to someone in need, or when he sees how much it means to family members to know that that someone is looking after their loved one when they can't be there. Pat is a remarkably kind man, and we are happy to be able to recognize him this evening. Councillor Elias will present Pat Renison with his well-deserved 2024 Customer Service Award.
George Donatelli family has been in mission since the early 1890s. His grandfather and granduncle came from Italy to Canada via the United States, traveling from New York to Pittsburgh to Thunder Bay to Boston Bar and ultimately to Mission, with many more adventures along the way. They settled in Silverdale area, and both George and his father before him were born here in the community. George grew up hunting, fishing, and playing sports with his neighbors and eventually chose to settle down in Mission with his wife, Jane, whom he had raised a family. They still live on the site of one of the original Donatelli homesteads. Shortly after he got married, George was approached by some boys he knew, who asked him if he'd be willing to coach the ball team. He enjoyed playing it so he said, sure, why not? And took the first steps to a lifetime of volunteerism, community service, and mentorship. In 58 years since, George has become a bit of a legend. He coached baseball, hockey, and helped out wherever he was needed, in whatever sports his children wanted to pursue. But what he is most known for is remarkable work with the speed skating community. He has taught multiple generations of skaters, a surprising number of whom have gone on to compete at an extremely high level. Quite a few of them have made it to the national team, and some, his daughter included, have gone on to become Olympians. In 2012, George was given the Speed Skating Canada's Coaches Award of Excellence in recognition of his exemplary contribution to the sport. As impressive as this is, George says that from him, the most rewarding part of volunteerism is working with the kids, and that to see them grow up and become good people. He loves it when their former athletes reach out to him and let him know how they are doing. He enjoys hearing about their lives and their families. It is a testament to George's approach to coaching that so many of his former athletes have gone on to become volunteers themselves. He has inspired them to become coaches, referees, and officials, as well as their parents with second and third generation athletes in the sport. As if that were not enough, George has been an executive with the Stave Valley Salmon Enhancement Society since 1981, and as such has been playing an important role in environmental stewardship and local habitat restoration projects for decades. It is with great pleasure that Council Guild will now present George Donatelli with the well-deserved 2024 Lifetime Achievement Award.
Shandale Martin is a hardworking volunteer at the City of Mission's Crime Prevention Office. A busy mother of two, she regularly commits double the number of volunteer hours required and is described by the CPO coordinator as a breath of fresh air and a true advocate for the safety and well-being of our community. Shandale has a diploma in criminology from the University of the Fraser Valley and a certificate in criminal intelligence analysis from BCIT. For the past 2.5 years, she has lent her unique blend of knowledge and abilities to the CPO. She has excellent administrative and analytical skills, is able to document and organize data effectively, and shines as the primary leader for all the front desk and in-house administrative responsibilities. Shandale has an infectious passion for community engagement. She works tirelessly to update resources and CPO displays with relevant messaging for road safety, and her genuine interest is connecting with the public as a special touch to every presentation and gathering. Recently, Shandell has taken on a leading role in the Block Watch program. In this capacity, she will work closely with neighborhoods to raise awareness and promote safety and security. In short, Shandell Martin isn't just a volunteer, she's a community champion. In recognition of everything that she has done to promote safety and mission, Councillor Davies will present Shandell Martin with her well-deserved 2024 Crime Prevention and Community Service Award.
Sheldon Thompson is a tireless and dedicated volunteer in Mission Sports community. She is the treasurer of the Mission Sports Council, the past treasurer of Mission Minor Baseball, the current secretary treasurer of Mission Slow Pitch, as well as the divisional coordinator for Mission Minor Hockey. In addition, she's the league manager of Fraser Valley East, which is part of the Pacific Coast Amateur Hockey Association. In these leadership roles, Sheldon has a reputation as a no-nonsense, focused, and thoughtful contributor who works well with others, but also not afraid to have an opinion. On a day-to-day basis, Sheldon is known to be a roll-up-your-sleeves and get-it-done kind of person. She never looks for the limelight and can always be found in the thick of things, helping out with a smile. Sheldon has an amazing organizational skills, great attention to detail, a giving spirit, and a passion for sports. When asked why she does what she does, Sheldon says that she does this for kids. Team sports are important to her family when she was growing up, and she wanted it for her own child as well. Now she wants it for all children. Sheldon also recognized that despite the many wonderful people who are doing incredible things in our community, especially our sports community, there's always a shortage of volunteers. She is grateful to be in a position to help and encourages everyone who can get involved to do so as well. In recognition of her exemplary way, which Sheldon Thompson has led and served the sports community mission, Mayor Horn will now present her with the well-deserved 2024 Sports Volunteer of the Year Award. Sheldon.
I'm short. What can I say? It's going down. Brian Bodell has lived in Mission off and on for the past 71 years and has been volunteering in one capacity or another for 5.5 decades. It would take far longer than we have here this evening to describe his many contributions to the community, but here are a few highlights. Brian is a member of Mission Healthcare Auxiliary Society. He volunteers at Mission Memorial Hospital and is the Society's human resource conveyor. This means he welcomes, interviews, and provides an orientation for new auxiliary members who wish to serve at Mission Memorial Hospital, and he attends monthly meetings with hospital staff to ensure that the work of auxiliary volunteers remains in alignment with existing policies and procedures. He also provides human resources services to the Cottage Thrift Store and is a past MHCA board member. He was instrumental in creating a new leadership model for the Society and continues to support the current leadership team. Brian is also a member of Mission Altogether for Healthcare Society and actively campaigned and raised funds for Mission Memorial Hospital's new CT scanner. Brian is a member of the BC Hydro Power Pioneers, which has branches across BC. He is part of the local leadership team, was previously on the provincial executive, and is currently on the editorial committee that documents the history of BC Hydro and its predecessors' companies. This group has written 6 books and is currently in the process of rewriting their first book. All funds raised through this initiative go to BC Children's Hospital. Brian is an active curler and supports the Mission Masters Curling Club annual bonspiels by amassing prizes for the event. While this list is impressive, it is the way in which Brian serves the community that really sets him apart. Brian has been described by one of his fellow volunteers As an incredible advocate for volunteerism within the community of Mission and a former colleague had this to say about him. Brian leads with integrity. He is a diligent, compassionate, and thoughtful leader. His positive, calm, and friendly demeanor shines through in his volunteer work with the community. The world needs more people like him. On behalf of a grateful community, Council Hamilton will now present Brian Bodell with his well-deserved 2024 Lifetime Achievement Award.
Erin Parks is a hard-working and dedicated volunteer. She grew up in a family that valued community involvement. So when her 3 sons, now young adults, began to play hockey, she naturally looked for ways in which she could be of service. For many years, Erin has volunteered as a first aid attendant for games, and she has been instrumental in organizing team fundraising initiatives that benefited the community while also teaching young athletes the importance of giving back to society. Erin has helped organize hockey team events in support of a variety of causes, including the Mission Hospice Society, Blankets for BC, the Coldest Night of the Year Walk, and the Terry Fox Run. The teams have also served meals at Hope Central, sponsored families at Christmas through the Mission Christmas Bureau, held very successful food and toy drives, and have collected backpacks filled with supplies for the homeless. Erin believes that it is important to inspire and instill in the next generation desire to give back to society. Erin also believes that engaging in acts of service as a team creates strong bonds on the team among hockey families within the Mission Minor Hockey Association as a whole. Every day, Erin lives out her belief that seemingly small acts can make a real difference, and in doing so, Erin encourages and inspires others to do the same. So it's with great pleasure on behalf of our community that Councillor Pluckus will now present Erin Parks with her well-deserved 2024 Sports Volunteer of the Year Award.
Brad Craig is a retired pharmacist who has spent his life helping others in one capacity or another. He moved to Mission in 2003, owned and operated a business in the community for many years, and is now an enthusiastic member of and volunteer for the Mission Granite Curling Club. Described by others as positive, upbeat, friendly, enthusiastic, and encouraging, Brent has coached and mentored curlers for all ages and skill levels for the better part of the last 13 years. He has taught young learners through the school district's curling programs, as well as those new to the sport through the Learn to Curl for Adults program. He also co-runs the Masters League and volunteers with both the senior and women's leagues. Brad is kind, friendly, inclusive, and always willing to help out whenever he is needed. In addition to the many hours that he spends sharing his knowledge and love for the sport of curling, he also gives his time to the Mission Hospice Society. Regardless of the task at hand, Brad believes that volunteering should be fun. He brings that joy and energy to everything he does, and in doing so, makes the world a better and brighter place for everyone around him. It is with great pleasure that Councillor Davies will now present Brad and his well-deserved 2024 Sports Volunteer of the Year Award.
Can you hear me? I just wanted to clarify a couple of things. I'm probably the only polygamist that lives in Mission. I have 2 wives, my curling wife and my wife of 43 years. One of the other things is that you guys forgot to talk about Brian Bodell is he also won the Sportsman of the Year for the Masters this year. which I've been trying to get that award for many years. It's been a tough one with Brian around. The person I'd really like to thank, there's two. Shirley Olson, she's a longtime member of the Mission Granite Curling Club. She's been everything from the president down to the bottle washer. She gets me involved in all this stuff, and I don't know why you take my life away like that, but I love every moment of it. And the best part of it is watching the joy in her face after she's helped the kids do their thing. And then my long-suffering wife, where are you, dear? She's had to bear with me for 47 years, but 43 of them we were married, and I am so lucky to have been living in this time of my life, because of all the things in the world, the women in my life have been just amazing. And Judy and Shirley are at the top of that heap, but the thing I know that God has to be a woman, because because of all the caring and all the things that they do. And I actually, every night I pray to her and thank her that I've had another day with my wife.
I think Brad just deserves an award for pointing out a mistake that Councillor Elias made. The Mission Interact Club. The Mission Interact Club is a service club for young people between the ages of 12 to 18 and operates under the sponsorship, mentorship, and the guidance of the Rotary Clubs of Mission. As is the case with all Interact clubs, our local branch is self-governing and self-supporting. It is required to organize at least 2 projects every year, one that helps promote the members' school or community, and one that promotes international understanding. The Mission Interact Club was formed in December of 2019 and officially registered as a Rotary Youth Club with Rotary International in June of 2021. Its philosophy is service above self, and its principles are aligned with the Rotary's International 4-way test. And to all the Rotarians out there, there's going to be a quiz at the end. But Interact Club members work together in service to others while developing leadership skills and building friendships. In the time that this group has been in operations, they have participated in and led countless initiatives. Here are just a few of them. In our auction project with proceeds going to Mission Central Community Garden, an annual back-to-school back supplies project providing stocked backpacks for children and youth in need, the annual Santa Paws fundraiser for international aid, an international aid fundraiser for earthquake victims in Syria and Turkey, an international aid fundraiser for Ukraine, and an anti-bullying campaign and a fundraiser with proceeds going to Mission Youth House. They have also raised funds for BC Children's Hospital, engaged in peer tutoring, and made Thanksgiving greeting cards for seniors at Chartwell, Cedarbrook. In addition, they volunteer at Mission Rotary Club events and participated in the Rotaract of the Fraser Valley fundraiser in support of Guatemala. This is just a short summary of the truly remarkable young people and the initiatives that they've done. They are smart, engaged, and dedicated to making the world a better place, one step at a time. In recognition of everything that the Mission Interact Club has done to help those around them, Mayor Horn will now present them with their well-deserved 2024 Community Service Award in the under age 25 category.
I told Elspeth that by the end of the evening, she's going to be mentioned 3 or 4, at least 5 times on the stage. This is number 3, folks. And to Jessica out there in the crowd as well, thank you for coordinating this group.
Sukhman Sidhu began volunteering when he was in high school. He started at the age of 16, directing traffic for the annual Run for Water event, which raises awareness and funds for people in the developing world who lack clean water. Over the years, he got involved in a number of other programs, included but not limited to the Fraser Valley Regional Library's reading program and Kids Play Foundation programs. The former involved assisting youth who were struggling with reading barriers, while the latter focused on keeping young people away from a lifestyle of drugs, gangs, and violence through participation in sports and recreational activities. Sukhman studied criminology and currently works in corrections. 2 years ago, he joined the Mission Crime Prevention Office in order to get more experience working with the RCMP and the public in anticipation of an eventual career in law enforcement. In the time that he has been with the CPO, Sukhman has spearheaded the 529 garage program activities, orchestrated events for Mission's pop-up Project 529 bike registry, and managed in-house statistics and procedures for the program. He is also a regular on-beat patrol and occasionally dons the Sergeant Safety Bear costume, adding warmth and fun to community engagement events. Sukhman says he has gained far more than work experience during his time with the CPO. He has learned new things, met new people, and become part of a team. He has also realized how important it is to him to do something that positively impacts others and is in alignment with his goals and beliefs. Sukhman is an asset to the Mission CPO, exemplifies excellence, and always goes above for others. In recognition of everything that he has done to make the world a better and safer place, Councillor Hamilton will now present him with his well-deserved 2024 Crime Prevention and Community Safety Award.
Louise Lisseret is a longtime Mission resident and a volunteer who has dedicated her life in serving the community. Louise was a nurse at Mission Memorial Hospital from 1978 to 1991, and after completing her degree, worked as an occupational health specialist, educator, and home care manager. In 2003, she accepted a position as the Chief of Health Services for the Correctional Services of Canada, where she worked until her retirement in 2013. Since that time, Louise has continued to seek out ways to serve the community, and in doing so, she has made a lasting impact on the world around her. Like her father and grandfather before, Louise is a member of the Rotary Club of Mission and has been with the organization since the early 1990s. Through her tireless efforts, Louise has organized and led countless Rotary initiatives and currently serves as the club's treasurer and the chair of the fundraising committee. She is a 5-time Paul Harris Award recipient, which is the highest Rotary honor that can be bestowed on an individual. And if that's not enough, Louise also serves on the board of both Mission Literacy in Motion and Mission Community Foundation, and plays the trumpet and serves as a treasurer for the Casada Wind Ensemble. Louise is truly a remarkable person. She is kind, hardworking, and dedicated, and is quick to point out that she is just one of the many people in her community who regularly work together for the common goal. She said that she feels honored to receive this award, but even more honored to be part of such an incredible group of volunteers. It's with our pleasure from our grateful community that Councillor Davies will now present Louise with her 2024 Lifetime Achievement Award.
This is very short. Thank you so much for everyone, and to family, but also to this community. Without the community, I wouldn't be standing here. We live in a wonderful, giving, and caring community, and we should be proud. Thank you.
Tim White is a kind and hardworking family man who cares deeply about people and the community. Born and raised in Mission, he grew up watching those around him exemplify the dual values of gratitude and altruism, and has chosen to live his life in accordance with these principles. Tim is a career firefighter for Mission Fire Rescue Services, is an active member of both the Mission Firefighters Charitable Society and the Silverdale Hall Association, and is the founder and driving force behind Silverdale's annual Nightmare Haunted House, which over the past 25 years has entertained people of all ages while raising thousands of dollars to help feed those in need. Tim was in his early teens when he and his uncle Danny hosted their first haunted house. In the years since, the event has grown. Now located on the grounds of the Silverdale Hall, it takes Tim, his family, and a large crew of tireless and enthusiastic volunteers 2 weeks to set everything up. The event runs for a little more than a week, and then it takes another week or more to disassemble everything, just in time to start planning for the year ahead. In 2023 alone, the Nightmare Haunted House raised over $11,000 in support of Mission Community Service Society's Food Center and Christmas Bureau, with an additional $3,300 raised to support Mission Senior Secondary's Dry Grad. Tim says that for him, the haunted house is a labor of love. It is about family, community spirit, working with and mentoring young people, and having fun. It is about people coming together to make the world a better place, and it reminds him that the little things that we do for each other actually do matter. Tim is also quick to point out that he does nothing alone. He is supported by an amazing group of people of all ages who come out each year to volunteer their time and their talents. He has also been blown away by their generosity and the generosity of some of our local businesses who have found ways to come alongside this initiative and support this cause. Tim is an excellent role model, and it is with great pleasure that Mayor Horn will now present him with his 2024 Special Accomplishment Award.
Sydney Sukovich. Please tell me I got that right. Oh, I think our parents are nodding no. Sydney is a grade 12 student at Mission Secondary School. She is an excellent student with a wide variety of interests, but what sets her apart is her passion for helping others and her commitment to a high standard of excellence. As a member of the student leadership, Sydney plays an integral role in planning and executing events and initiatives which build community and foster school spirit. One example of this can be seen in her work with the English language learning and international community at MSS. For the past 2 years, Sydney has volunteered time twice a week after school to tutor ELL students. She also founded the social wellness engagement for language learners known as Swell Club, which promotes inclusion and facilitates connection and community building for newcomers. Sydney independently runs this initiative and is in recognition of her dedication and service, received a community grant of $500 for this club, which she is using to fund activities to reach more students and enrich programs for what can and at times be an underserved community. Sydney also volunteers with the RCMP Youth Committee and is a volunteer swim coach. She's a former competitive swimmer and a Kumon tutor, an honor roll and a principal list student, a curler, a level 5 certificate air cadet, with her rifle marksmanship instructor certification. What can Sydney do? In summary, Sydney is truly remarkable and impressive young person. When asked what motivates her, Sydney said that she likes meeting new people and making a difference while developing leadership skills. And she tries to live her life by the Air Cadet motto, which is to learn, to serve, to advance. Sydney is a gifted, caring, and intelligent young person who brightens and inspires the world around her. And it's with our great pleasure of our community that Councillor Pluckus will present Sydney with her well-deserved 2024 Community Service Awards in the under of the age 25 category.
Erica Robinson is an incredibly kind and empathetic person who goes out of her way to make others feel seen, heard, and cared for. She has been part of our community for the past 33 years, having moved here from Cloverdale in the early 1990s, and has been a longtime supporter of the Humane Society. She has also spent the better part of the last decade volunteering with the Mission Hospice Society, Mission Memorial Hospital, in our local schools, and for a variety of other different organizations and causes. Erica has always loved animals. She used to work as a veterinary technician and came to Mission with her late husband because they found the perfect place for their hobby farm. Over the years, she has volunteered countless hours in service to animal welfare and has nursed animals of all kinds back to health on her farm. Erica also works with therapy dogs. She and her first therapy dog, Pepsi, used to visit patients and their families at Mission Memorial Hospital and in hospice care, bringing joy and laughter into some of life's harder moments. Her current dog, Katie, is a 5-year-old border collie, but still too rambunctious for hospice work. But Erica and Katie visit schools, staff hospitals, children's hospitals, and participate in a variety of different community events. Erica has been volunteering at the Mission Hospice Society since 2017. In addition to her dog therapy work, she held a grief facilitation role for their widow support group for many years and continues to fundraise for the society and help out with special events. Erica says that Mission Hospice Society, and especially the widow support group, holds a special place in her heart and that it is important to her to be able to give back for all the love and support that she has felt from the organization over the years. Erica's dedication to providing compassionate end-of-life care and grief support is admirable, as is the way in which she encourages and uplifts everyone around her. In recognition of all that Erica Robinson has done to make the world a brighter place, Councillor Elias will now present her and her wonderful dog, Katie, with a well-deserved 2024 Community Service Award.
W.C. Fields said, never follow kids or animals, but it's particularly bad when the animal is a hospice-carrying therapeutic animal. I'm pretty much dead in the water here. The Mission Punjab Culture Club is a not-for-profit organization that raises money in support of worthwhile causes while promoting Punjabi culture through education, instruction, and performance art. The club is run by a small team of dedicated volunteers who work tirelessly to organize events and spread awareness about this rich and diverse culture. They believe in the value of community service, the preservation of heritage, and the importance of teaching anyone who is interested about Punjabi food, music, and dance. Among their many initiatives and activities, they can be found giving out free samosas or sweets at community events such as Mission Fest, Canada Day, and the Candlelight Parade. They volunteer countless hours teaching dance and music classes, and they host 2 extraordinary fundraising events every year, the Diwali Festival of Lights and Vaisakhi. Diwali is one of the major festivals, religious festivals in Hinduism, Jainism, and Sikhism, and it symbolizes the spiritual victory of light over darkness, good over evil, and knowledge over ignorance. Held in the Clark Theatre each fall, the event is free to all members of the community and is an important opportunity for people to learn more about and enjoy Punjabi food and dance. Funds raised at the Festival of Lights go toward a different organization each year, and recent recipients have been the Mission Food Bank and the Rotary Club of Mission. Vaisakhi is perhaps the most meaningful date in the Sikh calendar. It is a spring festival occurring in April of each year and signifies not only the birth of Sikhism in 1699, but also coincides with the start of the harvest season in Punjab, where farming was and still is the lifeblood of the region. The Mission Punjab Culture Club's Vaisakhi event is a spectacular showcase of talented performers and raises a significant amount of money for the community. In 2023, the Vaisakhi fundraiser raised $21,000 for Mission Search and Rescue, and in 2022, due to one specific and remarkable special donation, it raised a staggering $571,000 for Mission Memorial Hospital and its new CT scanner. Motivated by a passion for service and a desire to bring people together in fellowship with one another, the Mission Punjab Culture Club exemplifies the spirit of the new Jenny Stevens Diversity and Inclusion Award. It is therefore with great pleasure that Councillor Gill will present them with their award.
Don't worry about it, I won't talk about two wives. I know all the men get so excited when he said I have two wives. Anyways, good evening, everyone. On behalf of Punjab Culture Club, I would like to thank Mission, City of Mission, and all you guys for the award, for the Diversity Award. We are not doing anything extraordinary, we're just doing our duties. But this award definitely help us, encourage us to do even better. We're just trying to build bridges between the community to make this place better and strong. Once again, thank you very much.
Jesse Kaler has been a volunteer with the Mission Crime Prevention Office for the past 2 years. He initially joined the CPO team because he was interested in becoming a police officer and wanted more experience in matters related to law enforcement. During his time with the CPO, he has participated in a variety of different programs and initiatives, including Citizens on Patrol, Cell Watch, and Speed Watch. He has also assisted Mission RCMP as they conduct special traffic initiatives, including impaired driving counterattack road checkpoints, speed and pedestrian safety enforcement, and distracted driving detection. Jesse acts as a crew lead for many CPO events and works effectively and collaboratively with Mission RCMP members and external stakeholder agencies, including ICBC. He displays a heightened level of dedication, professionalism, and commitment, and his contributions to promoting road safety are appreciated by his team, the RCMP, and a grateful community. Jesse says that his experiences with the CPO have given him a newfound love for public engagement and have strengthened his resolve to go into law enforcement. He has tremendous respect for RCMP members who day in and day out dedicate their lives to public safety, and he aspires to do the same. On behalf of the City of Mission, Councillor Hamilton will now present Jesse Kaler with his well-deserved 2024 Crime Prevention and Community Safety Award.
Our next recipient has been mentioned 4 times, which is getting close to a record, but well-deserved. And I think it's a little-known fact that you're not allowed to have a literacy event for children in this city without having her there. It's actually a bylaw. So it's the EB 2024 Literacy Bylaw. It is my great pleasure to make these comments this evening about Elspeth, because Elspeth Bowers is a passionate advocate for literacy and youth in our community. She worked at the Mission Public Library for 35 years before semi-retiring in 2013. And by the way, Elspeth's idea of semi-retiring is about twice as much as your idea of full-time work. She has for the past decade served as both a casual employee of the Fraser Valley Regional Library and a community literacy volunteer. Elspeth is a family literacy practitioner, a master storyteller, and a puppeteer. She's a member of Mission Literacy in Motion, chairs Mission's Family Literacy Committee, and runs a small organic farm. She also volunteers in the community, telling stories and singing songs at Family Place, in the summer programs in the parks and the farmers market, and since 2006 has been an active member of the Rotary Club of Mission. In her role as a Rotary Club member, Elspeth volunteers in the Mission Environmental Stewardship Society's Adopt-A-Block program, is one of the key people who coordinates the Starfish Backpack program, as we heard earlier, and is an adult coordinator and mentor for the Mission Interact Club. She has also held a variety of different roles on the Rotary Club of Missions board and currently serves as their vice president. Elspeth has been recognized both locally and provincially for her efforts. In 2006, she was awarded a Provincial Community Achievement Award at Government House in Victoria for her work in family literacy. She also received a Lifetime Achievement Award by the Mission Arts Council for her work with children, puppetry, and storytelling, and was recognized by the Mission Community Archives as part of their Paths and Pathfinders Women of Mission program. Elspeth credits her parents with instilling in her a love of words, stories, and language, and she's made it her life's work to share that passion with others. She encourages parents to sing and read to their children and to impart to them an appreciation for both the written and spoken word. On behalf of Mayor and Council and a grateful community, Councillor Plecas will now present Elspeth Bowers with her 2024 Lifetime Achievement Award.
No, I'm not going to tell you a story. I wasn't allowed to. But it will surprise nobody that I said I wanted to speak. So really, I have little notes in my bag, but it's just really 4 words. The first thing is about Lifetime Achievement Awards, because they always worry me. I think, does this mean I have to stop? The second thing was just to say thank you to the City of Mission, to all of you, because this community is a fantastic one. And it has been my pleasure to live here for a lot of years. I also want to say what an honor it was to be awarded in this way. And really what I have done in all of I was lucky enough to do it as my career, but also in all my volunteering work, is to take what was given to me and pay it forward. So I hope you've enjoyed the stories. Thank you.
Mike Rue is a hardworking and respected member of Mission's downtown business community who is known for his compassion, diplomacy, and tireless commitment to public safety. He believes in bringing people together for the common good and is currently the president of the Downtown Business Association, as well as the president-elect of Rotary Club of Mission Midday, and a member of the Mission Community Foundation Board. As the chair of the DBA's Safety and Security Committee, Mike advocates for positive change in Mission's downtown core. He was instrumental in organizing both the Downtown Cleanup Day and the First Responders Appreciation Barbecue events. He has lobbied for safe and timely snow removal in downtown parking lanes and has tirelessly worked with downtown businesses, the RCMP, the City of Mission, and staff to reduce and remove graffiti in the area. Mike has also worked with the good folks at Mission Community Services Society to ensure that the downtown core will be included in their new Engaged Community Guide program, and through his work, helped organize an overdose awareness service which brought attention to the overdose epidemic while supporting families in their grief. Mike Rue is an incredible asset to our community, bringing people together to work towards a shared goal, to create a safe, welcoming, and secure downtown core for everyone to enjoy. It is with great pleasure that Councillor Elias will now present Mike with his well-deserved 2024 Crime Prevention and Community Safety Award.
Nathan Reist is a dedicated and passionate educator who has consistently gone above and beyond to make a difference in the lives of the students at Albert McMahon Elementary School. He coaches most of the school's sports teams and oversees the entire sports program at Albert McMahon, but it is not what he does that makes him special so much as the way in which he does it. Nathan loves sports, recreation, and physical activity in general, and he enjoys sharing that love with others. He's quick to point out, however, that his primary goal is not to create champions. It is to help raise healthy, happy, inclusive, well-rounded kids. He wants his students to become good communicators, to take responsibility for their actions, to follow through on their commitments, to be good teammates, and to learn how to win and lose graciously. Nathan believes in fostering a sense of school culture through sports. He wants every student to feel invested and involved because he believes sports should be fun regardless of skill level and whether you are playing or cheering in the stands. In short, Nathan wants every child to know what it feels like to be part of a team, and he measures success by how many members of the student body feel engaged and get involved. Because of this, Nathan Reist is an exemplary coach, mentor, and volunteer, and it is with great pleasure that Councillor Gill will now present him with his well-deserved 2024 Sports Volunteer of the Year Award.
Lloyd Davies is a kind, generous, and humble man with very deep roots in this community. He was born in Mission Memorial Hospital and went to school in both Dewdney and Mission before starting his business, Davies Sand and Gravel, in 1959. He married his beloved wife, Carol, in 1966, then moved to Hatzick, where he worked hard, raised his family, and found a remarkable number of ways to give back and support the community. Lloyd has always been very civic-minded. He served as director for the former Dewdney Alouette Regional District for a number of years. He was on the church council at Mount Calvary Lutheran Church. He is presently a church representative on the Mission Association for Seniors Housing Board, and through Davies Sand and Gravel has been a member of the Mission Regional Chamber of Commerce for the better part of the past 6.5 decades. Over the years, Lloyd has sponsored countless sports teams, sporting events, clubs, and school activities. He has also provided educational scholarships, donated trucks and trailers for use at special events, including our own popular Candlelight Parade. He has supported a variety of organizations, including the local 4-H Club, the Mission branch of the Canadian Cancer Society, Mission Christmas Bureau, Mission Hospice Society, and local seniors programs. Such is Lloyd's legacy that in 1993, the City of Mission named one of the fields at Mission Sports Park after him. Lloyd is a man who believes in the importance of both family and community. He is also a man who is profoundly grateful for everything that he has been given and everything that he has been able to build. He enjoys helping people and says that he greatly appreciates the support that his business has received over the years, and that giving back to the community in whatever way he can is his way of saying thank you. We too are grateful to have a man like Lloyd in our community, and it is with great pleasure that Councillor Hamilton will now present Lloyd Davies with his well-deserved 2024 Lifetime Achievement Award.
Lindsay Legault grew up in the Mission DesRoches area and believes in the importance of both family and community. She's an artist and a small business owner who specializes in polymer clay jewelry. It was through her business that she became connected with other artisans and began to see the need for more events that would both showcase local talent and bring the community together. As a mother to 3 growing boys, ages 5 to 12, Lindsay knows just how hectic life can be, especially on the weekends. And she found herself wishing that there were more markets and free community events on weekday evenings, especially in the summer. From this, an idea was born. Lindsay worked with the City of Mission to create the Twilight Treasures Artisan Market in Cedar Valley. This market takes place on Thursday evenings in Griner Park from May through September each year, and has become an amazing, inclusive community event where there is literally something for everyone. There are entertainers, food trucks, and incredibly talented vendors, all set in a great location. People are encouraged to stroll through the market, have a picnic, enjoy some music, and play with their kids. While Lindsay technically works for the market, the number of hours she dedicates each season far exceeds any compensation that she receives. For her, it is truly a labor of love. She has a heart for community and collaboration and says that it is constantly inspired by the creativity, hard work, and passion of the vendors. She loves seeing the kids dance and play in the park, as well as the look on customers' faces when they find a new treasure. Lindsay's tireless efforts on behalf of the Twilight Treasures Artisan Market has led to other related pursuits. She's contracted to assist with the Heritage Park Market now, and she helps with the Windapank Elementary School Market each Christmas. She also volunteers on behalf of Shine Bright and Pride Day events, and in 2024 will be working alongside 2 other community members and the Fraser Valley Youth Society to bring a fantastic artisan market to this year's Fraser Valley Pride celebration. Lindsay Legault is a true champion for local artisans and for community building in general, and it is with much appreciation that Councillor Plecas will now present her with this well-deserved 2024 Community Service Award.
Born and raised in the Fraser Valley, Jobin Canlon started volunteering with the Mission Crime Prevention Office because he had an interest in policing and wanted to learn more about crime prevention and law enforcement-related activities. Over the course of the past 2 years, he has amassed over 320 volunteer hours, and in the process of doing so, has become an invaluable member of the CPO team. Jobin is known as a friendly and hardworking individual who is always willing to tackle any project or task that arises. He has taken part in Speed Watch awareness initiatives, lockout auto crime audits, and Citizens on Patrol program. Jobin has also helped create in-house media content to spread safety messaging to the Mission community and has taken on a leadership role in training new volunteers. When asked what he's enjoyed most about his time at the Crime Prevention Office, Jobin said that he really likes being part of the Speed Watch team and interacting with the RCMP members and other CPO volunteers. Unfortunately, Jobin is unable to be with us here this evening. We look forward to presenting him with his well-deserved 2024 Crime Prevention and Community Safety Award at the next upcoming regular meeting of Council.
We'll wait for our next award on the screen. There we go. Thank you, Booth. Janet Chalmers and Roger Dowker are longtime Mission residents and committed community volunteers who both independently and as a couple give generously and enthusiastically of their time and talents. I might not have said a more understated sentence this evening that really doesn't begin to describe their contributions. They are compassionate, dedicated, forward-thinking people who work well both as a team and who continually seek to make a positive difference in the lives of the people around them. Janet and Roger enjoy giving back to the community and say that they are honored and humbled to be counted amongst Mission's robust community of exemplary volunteers. Janet and Roger are involved with countless organizations and sit on a variety of committees and boards. They work or have worked on behalf of the following groups, just to name a few: the Mission City Farmers Market, the Mission Food Coalition, Mission Downtown Area Residents Association, Mission Environmental Stewardship Society, Mission Community Foundation, and the Rotary Club of Mission. Janet is also a Mission Youth House volunteer, one of the organizers of Mission Fest, and through her work with the Rotary Club, she also helps to co-run the Starfish Backpack program, as you saw earlier. For his part, Roger assists with both Mission Fest and the Starfish Backpack program, and he sits on a variety of boards, including serving as the Mission Community Services Society Board Chair and as a director on the Mission Association for Seniors Housing. He has also recently joined Mission Public Schools Feeding Futures Committee. While this list of community involvement is by no means exhaustive, it does highlight some of the many ways in which Janet and Roger work together to contribute to the well-being of others. And when asked why they volunteer, they quoted Muhammad Ali, who said that service to others is the rent that you pay for your room here on earth. They also said that they believe in helping people, changing lives, and building community. And if you know these two people, you know it's not what they do, it's how they live their entire lives. Janet and Roger are truly amazing people, and it is with great pleasure that Councillor Elias will now present them with their well-deserved 2024 Citizens of the Year Award.
Wow, honey. Here we are. Good evening, everyone. I just want to say how humbled Roger and I are by receiving this award and recognition. When we share the stage with a number of remarkable people in our community and go through the list of past recipients, we're just blown away to even be on the list, so thank you. Many of those previous members and current members have been my mentors, have become my friends, and what an honor it is to be here. As I said in my introduction, I believe that service to others is the rent that we pay for our room on earth. I live with that along with the four-way test of Rotary. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? A little bit about myself. My children and I and their father moved to Mission 42 years ago from the Sunshine Coast. We chose Mission because it felt like a community. It felt like home. Since moving here, I have watched Mission grow from a logging town that provided mass-produced cedar shakes into what's now become a bedroom community. But I've always worked hard to make Mission still feel like home, a town where people know their neighbors, a town where people help their neighbors, and a town where people care. I've expanded my borders beyond Mission a couple of times to visit the Rotary Club school that we built in Bangladesh, and also to help build a classroom in Cambodia with the student leadership kids from Mission Secondary. But I've always wanted to come back to Mission because this is our home. As well as the things mentioned in our introduction, I've also was one of two leaders in the fight against privatizing Mission drinking water a number of years ago with the anti-P3 campaign. I was one of the founders of the Mission Soapbox Community Garden and served meals at the Hope Central and also help at the Christmas Bureau. And of course, my love of being involved in the Starfish program and with Rotary. I've always found a place in Mission for my love and energy where I can volunteer to help make things happen. And the best part is working with the employees, staff, and volunteers with these groups that I work with. They truly make it not work at all and just a whole lot of fun. I am blessed with an amazing family of 3 children and 5 grandchildren, and this year have been reunited with my adult daughter, who I gave up for adoption at her birth, and her 2 children. I'm also blessed to share my life with a wonderful man, because Roger and I follow the same moral compass, our foundation for ethical decision-making. A moral compass where we have a shared set of beliefs about what is right and what is wrong that guides our actions, helps us make decisions in our daily lives, and helps us find meaning and purpose in our lives. And of course, it's way more fun to do something with someone who's working in the same community as you are. So I stand here before you this evening very humbled, a woman of many years who feels like I have the world in my hands. And I want to share that with everyone in Mission, because you are what makes this community what it is. You are the reason that people come to Mission, and you're the reason that people stay in Mission. So thank you, Mission, for honoring us and for this prestigious Citizens of the Year Award. And I'll give the microphone to Roger.
Judging by the number of views on my LinkedIn page, lots of people must be wondering, who is this guy? So I want to tell you a little bit about how I got here. I was born 76 years ago in Toronto, Ontario. I had a father who I loved and passed away on my 15th birthday. That impacted me incredibly. I started acting out. I got in trouble at school. I didn't like school that much anyway. They were always telling me what to do, so I quit. So I'm a grade 8 dropout. That's one of the things about me. I have to look at my notes. After being a grade 8 dropout, I started writing poetry. It wasn't great poetry, but it was good enough to get published in a local magazine. Through that magazine and those poems, I met Mort Ranson, a director with the National Film Board, and was chosen to be one of a group of youth that were in a feature-length film called Christopher's Movie Matinee. Out of that, I met some people in the Company of Young Canadians. They suggested that I join the Company of Young Canadians. I applied and was successful. I was sent to Calgary, and in Calgary I worked with college students. Remember, I'm a grade 8 dropout. And I worked with marginalized street people. I wasn't very well prepared for the emotional impact of working with people living on the street. And after a year, I left and moved to Vancouver, where I did the hippie thing. I grew my hair long, I flew my kite, and enjoyed life. You could say I was retired, or you could say I was a loser living off the system. Both are kind of right. From there, I moved up to Powell River, where I worked as the youth counselor. I was stage manager. I was the director of the Powell River Youth Center. From there, I moved further up the coast. I had a marine freight business. I worked on tugboats. I worked fishing. And while I was fishing, I was injured. And I spent 3 months in the hospital. I was told I'd never walk again. 3 months of looking at a ceiling. That's like 90 days. I don't know how many hours that is, but that's a lot of time. I counted all the holes in the ceiling tiles. But I also realized I liked math. And maybe I could do something like accounting or something, laying down. I was able to start walking again. I went back to school at 32 years of age, graduated from high school, did the first 2 years of the CGA program in 1 year. I reconciled with my mother. I had her understand that I loved her. And from that day on, every time I spoke to my mom, every week, I made sure that I told her how much I loved her. So I started to be able to express some of the good in me. Let's see, so after that, I pursued a career in accounting, inventory management, production and logistics, and business consulting. In 2003, I moved to Mission. I started a relationship with Janet, and I started volunteering in the community. As you heard, I was involved in a lot of organizations over the last 21 years. To all of the people that I worked with and volunteered with, thank you. I'm clear that I wouldn't be here without your support, nurturing, guidance, It takes a team, and we are the team, and we have an opportunity to make Mission a more caring and compassionate community. I'm honored to receive this award. Thank you very much. And together, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Thank you.
We now come to the final part of this evening's celebrations, our Freedom of the City presentations. For those of you who do not know, the Freedom of the City is the highest honor that a municipality can bestow on a person or an organization. Awarded by unanimous vote of council, the Freedom of the City Medal is given to those who have established a history of broad community involvement and volunteerism. It is a recognition of exceptional and distinguished community services. So at this time, I'd like to ask Joy Cox and Bob Ingram to come on stage. Sorry? Oh, they're with us. Geez, how did I miss you? You snuck in.
Secretly back.
I didn't have to read that from my notes. Well, it gives me great pleasure tonight to talk about Joy Cox. Joy Cox is an incredibly gifted, intelligent, and hardworking person who has dedicated her life in service to those around her. She grew up being taught the importance of volunteering and giving back to her community, and entered the workforce as a young adult with a commitment to making the world a better place. Joy is one of those rare individuals whose principles, passions, and core values completely align in all aspects of her life. She worked for a variety of nonprofit organizations and social support groups over the years before moving to Mission in 1990, when she was hired as the executive director of the Mission Community Services Society. Joy sat at the helm of MCSS, providing wisdom, guidance, inspiration, and leadership for those close to 2 decades. During her time with the Society, the organization flourished, and the community benefited tremendously from Joy's commitment to finding creative and meaningful solutions to often complex social problems. Joy says that her vision of community is where all people are treated equally. It is inclusive and celebrates its diversity, youth, and elders. It is a place where seniors are welcomed for their knowledge, experience, wisdom, and no person is looked down upon, but rather is valued for who they are. It is a place in which all facilities and grounds are accessible for all people. Under her leadership, and reflective of her spirit of inclusiveness and innovation, volunteerism at MCSS increased dramatically during her tenure, and a whole host of new initiatives were born. This was the era of the Youth Center, Mission for Kids Family Place, Logan Place, now known as Haven in the Hollow, Multicultural Services, the Food Center, and the Mission Downtown Coalition, which brought businesses together with the Red Heart and Mission Red Gold Card Club program. Under Joy's leadership, MCSS had a robust fundraising component in recognition of challenges inherent in relying exclusively on government funding. When she retired in 2009, Joy left her job, but not her service to our community. She is a life member of Mission Community Services Society, a longtime member of the Mission Farmers Market, and an active member of All Saints Anglican Church. She and her beloved partner of 35 years, Margaret Peake, also continue to fundraise and volunteer in support of a variety of causes. They are the driving force behind the annual Festival of Trees fundraiser, and were instrumental in fundraising and applying for grants necessary to upgrade solar panels and install an elevator at All Saints Anglican Church. They sit on a variety of committees, advocate for environmental causes, and are generally known as the powerhouse duo in our community. Joy was recognized by the Mission Community Archives through their Path and Pathfinders Women's Program, is a former Citizen of the Year, and was nominated for the Myrtle Everett Woman of the Year Award. Joy is truly a gift to our community, and we are honored to be able to recognize her tonight with this well-deserved 2024 Freedom of the City Medal. Thank you. At this time, Mayor Horn and Councillor Gill will now present Joy Cox with her well-deserved 2024 Freedom of the City Medal, and then we will invite Joy to the podium to say a few words. Thank you.
You may not get all of this speech because I'm so amazed at all of you, the wonderful people who have received awards tonight. Is just amazing. Mayor Paul Horn and council members, I'm honored and humbled to be receiving the Freedom of the City Medal. Over the years, as Executive Director of Mission Community Services and a member of All Saints Anglican Church, I have met so many wonderful volunteers and staff who have given so much to the community of Mission. If it wasn't for all these community volunteers, we would not have had a mission hospital, the Christine Morrison Hospice, a youth center, seniors housing, Mission City Farmers Market, and many other nonprofit services and agencies, all of which is rooted in volunteerism. I want to share a couple of stories as when I came to Mission Community Services, and if you know me, I'm more of a doer than a talker, so bear with me. One of the major highlights of volunteering and working in this community for me is the wonderful, talented folks you meet and get to know personally. And I would like to share these stories. When I came in 1990 to Mission Community Services to take the executive director position, I arrived and I met the president, Linnea Battelle, a wonderful Indigenous person who introduced me to her very rich culture and also to a very diverse Mission Community Services committees and board of directors, as well as staff. There were many new experiences. I had come from working in other agencies and also with the church. But I soon came to know that the staff of MCS were in the process of being unionized. I had no experience in such a happening in a nonprofit. Oh well, I learned pretty quick. Some of the staff also soon started asking me if I was staying. And I was a little, what do they mean? This kept happening over the next few months, and I only found out much later that there had been a number of EDs before I arrived and who had stayed a very short time. I stayed till I retired in 20 years, almost 20 years. I love the challenge of firsts, and as Carol mentioned, there were many of those for Mission Community Services. The first story I'd like to share is about the Heart of Mission, the Red Card and Gold Card program that offered a variety of services to those needing assistance and were homeless. This Gold Card program addressed the needs of resident homeless in Mission and connected individuals with a mentor in a personalized assistance program to help integrate a person back into our community. We had soon produced an information guide on DVD in respect to the programs, which soon became a demand in various communities around the province of British Columbia. We also won a Community Impact Award from the United Way of the Fraser Valley. My second story is the one of Mission Community Services, our move from Fifth Avenue in the Memorial Building there to Second Avenue, and at the time was going to be totally renovated and a second floor put on. It started in 1997 and was a great challenge and a new learning experience, as well as having many volunteer hours for everybody. Staff and volunteers, we all needed to relocate to a variety of locations until the building renovations were completed in 1999. There was packing to do, desks to move, filing cabinets, telephones. I thought originally that we could occupy the building during construction. Oh no, not a chance. How naive was that? We ended up occupying vacant stores, offices in downtown Mission, All Saints Church, in schools, in the Friendship Center, and anywhere else we could find a space. Okay. And my last story was didn't want to leave All Saints Anglican Church out, so with a story about the youth center that was located on Horn Street near the Mission Vet, and we had a fire there, and then financial restraints, we were without a site. All Saints came to our rescue with the opportunity for the youth center to reopen in the area of the east end of the church hall. We then became ARC Youth Center, and we're very pleased with our new home. Drop-ins, preteens programs, multiple activities were hosted in the new center. Here again, a number of firsts. For 2 years, 2006-07, we were able to enter a team of young people in the first LEGO League of British Columbia at BCIT. In 2005, we celebrated our 15th anniversary with a reunion. The naysayers had said that the youth center couldn't last 6 months. Once again, it was all the volunteers who supported and kept the center open. After my retirement in 2009, my focus continued to be fundraising and organizing events for All Saints Anglican Church. The Festival of Trees became a major annual community event in 2013 in support of the Mission Christmas Bureau and hosted at All Saints Church Hall. The organizing team began meeting in February this year for our 9th Festival of Trees, which will take place December 10th to the 14th. Lots of volunteer opportunities. The planning and the environmental events in Mission, in 2019, the Lighter Living Environmental Forum was organized and held its first event at All Saints. Then in 2022 and 23, it grew, and the planning committee included Mission Environmental Stewardship Society, All Saints, St. Andrews, and other interested people. The event, now entitled Green Living, was held at the Leisure Center then. Green Living has their annual event celebrating Earth Day, and this year it's in Heritage Park, Saturday, April the 20th, from 11 to 3, and I hope to see you all there. It's important that people are encouraged to and invited to volunteer. Not whatever way they are able, it definitely helps build community, and I believe everyone has something to give or offered in any way. Many, many thanks. I'm truly honored, and I share this award with my second family, my partner, my church family, And my mother and grandmother, of course, are not with us, but encouraged me to start volunteering at a very early age when I was in elementary school. For Grandma, there was no such thing as "I can't." That was not a word in our household. When you work, live, and volunteer in your community, it's wonderful, and I thank Mission and all of you for that opportunity. Thank you.
Bob Ingram is a former resident of Mission who in the fall of 2023 left our community after many years of dedicated service. Upon hearing that he and his family would be moving to Chilliwack, Council took the unusual step of announcing, outside of a regular award designation process, that Bob had been selected to receive the Freedom of the City Medal. Bob was invited to appear before Council on September the 5th, 2023, to be recognized for his outstanding contribution and for the indelible mark that he has left in our community. He is here, however, tonight to officially receive the Freedom of City Medal here tonight. Bob Ingram is a gifted teacher, gifted leader, whose special blend of diplomacy, kindness, thoughtfulness, patience, and determination has earned him the respect and affection of the community. Born into a naval family, Bob spent his early years living in various parts of Canada and England. And after attending university, he joined the Royal Canadian Air Force. After leaving military life, Bob worked in the oil and gas industry for a while before making a move to the public sector, where he worked for both the provincial government and a variety of school districts. Eventually, Bob started his own consulting company, offering consulting services in the public sector and conducting school district compliance audits for the Ministry of Education. While Bob and his beloved wife, Gail, spent many years living in and around the Fraser Valley, they only moved to Mission in 2005. Despite being relative newcomers, they both quickly integrated into the community life. Bob is one of those never really slowed down retirees, and soon found himself serving on an astounding number of boards and committees, and rolling up his sleeves to help out on behalf of literally dozens of different organizations and initiatives. To list them all would take far too much time, but we have a few here to give you an idea of just some of the ways in which Bob exhibited his outstanding dedication and service to the people of Mission. He served on and was president of the Mission Seniors Center Association, the Mission Association for Community Living, and the Mission Community Service Society Board. He was on the Mission Altogether Healthcare Society Board and was the chair of the Mission Community Foundation Board. He also served on the board of Mission Division of Family Practice, Mission Seniors Advocate Council Advisors, Mission Association for Senior Housing, Old Age Pensions Organizations, Mission Healthy Community Foundation, Mission Community Policing, Mission Restorative Resolutions, Mission Victims Assistance, and the University of the Fraser Valley Mission Community Council. He was a member of countless committees and subcommittees, including the City of Mission's Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee, the Transit and Traffic Committee, and the Senior Centers Task Force. In 2014, he was named Mission Citizen of the Year, and as part of the hardworking team of individuals who made the 2014 BC Winter Games possible, he was also awarded a Special Accomplishment Award and inducted into the City of Mission Sports Hall of Fame. Bob is an intelligent, hardworking, and humble person who genuinely lives out his belief that if life lived for others, that is truly worthwhile. The City of Mission is extremely grateful to him for the many ways in which he has shaped and guided our community, and he is very much missed. Fortunately, as one of the City of Mission's newest Freedom of City Medal recipients, Bob will forever be one of our own. Mayor Horn and Councillor Davies will now present Bob Ingram with his 2004 Freedom of the City Medal, and they will invite Bob to come to the mic.
Your Worship and council members, ladies and gentlemen, when I was first asked to say a few words, I intended to come up here and say just what she said. But I was asked to expand on that. First, my sincere congratulations to all those honored tonight. It's a privilege to be sharing this evening's ceremonies with you. My appreciation, Your Worship and Council, for this honor and the kind sentiments that have been expressed. So thank you very much, Danny. Serving the community has been an enriching and rewarding part of my life since my teens. Now that seems like a long time ago. I have vague recollections. Some of you may remember acne, puppy love, a 48 Chev, a silver flask, 50s rock and roll, dancing, lots of dancing, classic westerns, and for those who are 75 plus, Bridget Bardot. Many wonderful memories, but back to tonight. There are many to thank for the opportunities afforded to me during my 18 plus years in Mission. My thanks to both present and past mayors and councils, MLAs, MPs, and district staff for your courtesy, respect, encouragement, and friendship which have been extended to me over the years. Our relationships are an affirmation that political discourse, whether there is agreement or disagreement, can be conducted with dignity, understanding, integrity, and humor without rancor or disparage. Thank you to all those with whom I have served on various boards and committees for your support, advice, friendship, and sharing of talents. Working with you has been a true benefaction. You have taught me so very much. Thank you to all those we have collectively served. Not only have you expressed appreciation, but have been great teachers of humanity, empathy, and compassion. Many have in turn attended to the needs of others. You have made me aware that my life is truly blessed. A special thank you to my partner and best friend of over 60 years. Gail, you have shown great patience, a lot of patience, given sage advice, provided endless support, ensured a safe harbor during stormy times, and shared a lifetime of love. You even taught me to say, "You're right, dear," with conviction and courage. Mission is fortunate in having a rich history of volunteer participation. The city thrives as a result, and we'd be much the poorer without it. The contribution of volunteers is an integral component of the community's well-being. There are, however, some who have not yet taken advantage of opportunities to serve in the community, and I very much encourage everyone to share in that experience. Often we talk about how much volunteers give. Their time, their expertise, support, energy, caring, advice, among other gifts. We rarely express what is received in return. From those we work with, we receive an extended hand of friendship, the learning of new skills, a holistic perspective of the community, and a sense of satisfaction by contributing to ensuring that the City of Mission is a great, safe place to live, work, and play for our families and neighbors. From those we serve, we receive gratitude and warm smiles. From their experiences, we come to realize that some days you're the top dog on the block, but other days you feel as if you're the only fire hydrant on the block of incontinent dogs. They show that we must learn to face both days with dignity and humility. From volunteerism itself, we come to realize that the greatest reward is the feeling of fulfillment, and that it is indeed a life lived for others that is truly worthwhile. In closing, again, my heartfelt appreciation for this honor. It is incredibly humbling to be recognized in this manner and to join with Joy Cox and past recipients of the Freedom of the City Medal. Thank you all for this most touching gift of kindness. Mission will forever be home in my heart, no matter where I happen to live. Thank you.
As we get close to closing out the evening, I wanted to take a moment to expand on the remarks that introduced this portion of the evening. You may wonder, what is the difference between a Lifetime Achievement Award, a Citizen of the Year, a Freedom of the City Medal? Well, Freedom of the City Medal is actually spelled out in legislation in the province of British Columbia, and it is a singular distinction that none of the other awards this evening have in common with it. And it genuinely requires something different and gives a privilege that is remarkable. In order to be deemed a Freedom of the City recipient, you must get an entire council to agree unanimously that you deserve one. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is quite the feat. In order to do that, you cannot have done things for a few years. You cannot have been just focused in one area. But you have to have lived your life as an exemplary citizen of our community. Even if you have been here in the later part of your life, and rather than your childhood, you have to have made a difference in a way that bestows upon you more than a medal and a certificate. There are three other things that the Freedom of the City comes with. The first is literally that no matter where you live, you retain your vote as a citizen of Mission. You may vote in a Mission election no matter whether you live here or own property here, depending on who you vote for. It's very important. The second is not perhaps spelled out in law, but it's incredibly important. And Jim knew this was coming, Freeman Hines knew this was coming. You cannot be a Freedom of the City recipient in Mission without receiving the most coveted prize for a lifetime of work, and that is, of course, Hawkins Cheesies. But the third and most important thing that you, of course, achieve is the undying gratitude of your neighbors, demonstrated by a standing ovation. Would you please stand and recognize these folks? I don't know if you detected it this evening, but this evening had within it a couple of secret themes, the certain words that were used often. It might have been subtle, you might not have noticed the words mission and volunteer being used a lot. It was a subtle subliminal message to enhance further volunteerism. There's only one problem. If you're in this room, you probably already have been sufficiently indoctrinated. So what's your next mission? Mission. The word volunteerism is just another way of saying giving. And we all know that it is better to give than to receive. The lesson that each person who has come on this stage tonight has shared is that they are the blessed ones. By volunteering and giving, they have found their place in community. They have developed lasting relationships. They have been able to frame the meaning of their lives. And so I encourage you as you leave here this evening to share the message of volunteerism with people who might not realize just how easy it is to train a dog that you may love to do something that shares caring for others. To take a baseball or a basketball that you love playing with and to introduce a youth to it. To join a board in an area that you are passionate about. To pick up a garbage picker and join the Mission Environmental Stewardship Society. To help seniors. There are countless ways to be involved in this community, and they start with your passions. So as we wrap up this evening, I hope you leave uplifted and grateful. You are surrounded by good people doing good things. Indeed, that is what we value most about this city, and it is what defines this community. Now, there's a bunch of other givers that have been behind the scenes tonight. I don't think it's easy for the community to realize just how much work goes into this evening. And while it may be the job of people, they do it like it was more than their job, but their passion, and they put the hours in that way as well. They do not want to be out here being recognized because they've spent their whole day walking around, and they don't feel that they're at their most presentable. So they want you, or I want you, to applaud loudly for the team of city staff who helped us to coordinate this event tonight. Christine, Andrea, Annie, Nicole, Connie, Harleen. I'm sure I've forgotten somebody. Please give them a loud round of applause. Outside of this room, you can guarantee they'll be compensated with flowers. They don't care that much about that. And wine, which they do care about. I also want to thank my colleagues on council. They put a lot of thought into all of this work. And I joked earlier at the importance of agreeing on recipients, bringing forward names, understanding the background of the people. I am truly honored to serve with the people on this stage this evening, and I thank you for your ongoing contribution. These folks serve as well. Please give them a round of applause. In just a moment, myself and council will retire with our two newest Freemen for a photograph in the back, and we will meet you in the lobby and join you to socialize there. We'll ask all of our remaining Freemen who are here still, those who didn't get bored with my long remarks, to join us out there for a photograph that includes our two newest Freeman inductees. Before you head home this evening, please take a few moments to greet your neighbors and friends in the lobby. Solomon and Leonard Jansen will be performing again, and Amazi Coffee House has prepared some delicious treats for everybody to enjoy. In addition, once the last of our official photos are taken backstage, Wendy, our photographer, will be going out to the front to make her way to the red carpet area, and we'll be taking pictures of anybody who wants to commemorate the evening. We'd especially love to gather photos, as I said, of our Freemen and past award winners, along with this year's recipients. So let's take this opportunity to celebrate one another and to reconnect. Once again, thank you all. I raise my hands to everybody in this room this evening. Let us all be good to one another. Good night.